The majority of you women are dating bad boys.
And that's what most men think. Most men in our community think that we need to choose better and that we're just dating the lowest of the low in the community. You date who you are in proximity to. And you also date what's available out there. Many of us were raised in a way that we didn't meet your traditional Pookies and Ray Rays. You see, when brothers are talking about Pookie and Ray Ray, they're not talking about themselves, even though many of them are Pookie and Ray Ray. But what they don't know is that a whole lot more of y'all are Pookie and Ray Rays, and that if the problem is who we're choosing to date, I wrote down a list of the men that I've dated in my life. And these are the ones that I considered myself to be in a serious relationship with. I claimed them. Now, let me tell you, each one of these men, I have talked about some point in my social media life. I've talked about something that they've done to me. These are men of color who cheated on me. Several, I found out that they were cheating and broke up with them, and they got highly mad to the point to where wanted to unalive me because I found out that he was cheating on me. One stole from me. One I had a $500,000 building with, and he cheated on me. And when I found out about it and said something, I had to walk away from the whole building because of it to stay alive. So I want to talk about the Pookies and Ray Rays that I've dated. The ones that have done some really low-end stuff. I started in high school. There was a drum major, captain of the football team. We move up to college, pre-med, a law student, and the president of the Black Engineers, the president of a Greek fraternity. We get to adulthood. There is a museum curator, a police officer, a New York fashion designer, a military general with the United States Army, a mayor of a medium-sized city in America, a New York news anchor, a Fortune 500 CEO, the general manager of a luxury hotel, a lobbyist at a state capitol, a surgeon, the head of a mergers and acquisitions firm, a marketing director, a news reporter for CNN, and an entrepreneur who was on Shark Tank and won big. Now, those were all men of color. None of them had ever gone to jail. They didn't have children. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have tattoos. So let's talk about the ones who didn't cheat on me. Men of none color. 2 reporters, 1 news anchor in a medium-sized market. A lobbyist. A military lieutenant. A mayor of a large city. All of those guys I dated. Didn't work out, or we moved on, or we grew apart. Simply said bye, went our own separate ways. I actually talked to 2 of them today on social media. The men of color, however, from all the way from down there at the beginning, all the way up, I had to really digest and make sure that it was safe to talk to them later here in life because they had been so low down and dirty. I'm not really sure where you brothers think that women who are the most educated in the world, where do you think that we're meeting these legacies of low achievement? Even when you look at Miss Shirley on the Strawberry Letter with Steve Harvey, and you might say, okay, well, she was with the guy that was out of prison, but look at how he presented himself. You know, he didn't come to her as just a felon that had walked out the prison with a bag and was like, hey, you know, can me and my trash bag come move in with you? He connected himself with Steve Harvey and presented himself as being a man of high moral standards and got with her. And then we see what he still was, a Pookie or a Ray Ray. But many of you all wouldn't have called him a Pookie or Ray Ray. Look at Kevin Samuels. Did y'all see how his demise? And when you found out about him, he didn't have any money. He didn't have nowhere to stay. He hadn't paid his child support. I mean, so you guys keep talking about these high value men, but it keeps turning out that the high value men are Pookie and Ray Ray. So I'm challenging other women because I think that we need to share. If you are still in that point in life, and a lot of young women are, and I hope that you are, because hopefully we can teach the younger men something to know better. I would like for you guys to start listing out, we don't need any names, but just start telling us who are the men that you dated that did some of these same things that Pookie and Ray Rays have done. You know, when I was a crime reporter, when I covered crime in the prison system, just about every man of color that I covered for taking most of the time a woman of color's life, he was a very nice, upstanding, high value man. I mean, most of these men that are taking lives, they're not Pookie, your traditional Pookie or Ray Rays. These are men like the ones from my list. So maybe you guys could tell us who Pookie and Ray Ray is. And sisters, please list your Pookie and Ray Rays.